Those are really cool headphones, man. I've seen you've been wearing those the last couple episodes. You like them?
I've been really impressed with the audio and when I've heard the playbacks from the podcast and when I've been doing other Zoom calls, video calls with people, they've said the audio is nice and clear, great noise cancelling. So these are the Sonos Ace headphones, which of course I got at a very favorable price, but been really impressed with them. I'm going to be traveling with them soon. Have to try and prize them out of the kids' hands. Now and again, they find them in my laptop bag, and Jack likes to use them up in his room.
That's cool. Well, I've been wondering how they fit for you because you sound great on the podcast and you look good. So, you know,
That's a thumbs up for Sonos. They don't get a lot of credit sometimes, but they're still great innovators and come out with some excellent product. And this was one that was much anticipated. But good to see you, JJ. You're looking well.
yeah. We had a great week. The guys have been busy. I've been busy trying new things, deploying the same things. The clients are loving the solutions that we're providing. Like our podcast here in Houston, Digital Delight. Like the podcast, we actually practice what we preach: a less is more approach. Less boxes, less wires, more reliability, easier to use. Now, the products we provide are a little bit different than yours, but the philosophy is the same.
Yeah, totally. We break the house down into very specific categories and we attack them with what we feel is the best product for ease of use, longevity, customer friendliness, reliability, and again with less stacked up in a cupboard, less around every TV. We're trying to shrink the amount of tech but still giving the maximum impact.
Yeah, absolutely. And together, Gamble and I every week do the Digital Ramble. You can check out all of our previous episodes at the digitalrambleshow.com. Got a bunch of podcasts. Actually, this is podcast episode 170. And we're continuing on our topic of Supercycle, the Smart Home Supercycle. And really the subtopic of the main topic is robots and how they are going to be impacting us in our daily lives, in our working lives, and our commute in between lives. So it's going to be a cool conversation.
That's right, and it's a conversation that our industry's having. It's a conversation that we're having within our conversations with customers. They're starting to mention it. So as soon as something becomes one of those, pub conversations or dinner table conversations, sports club conversations, you know that it's coming very, very soon when it's mainstream conversations.
Gamble, we had last week's episode 169, and we had several friends, previous listeners, you reach out to us and talk about how excited they were to have us back and having these types of open conversations. And one of the things, that keep popping up is different topics, in our industry that they like hearing us talk about, as well as tips. They always liked our tech tips. And you got one for this week, is that right?
Yeah, and it's relevant to myself. I'm going on holiday soon. Um, it's that time of year where school holidays have arrived or will be arriving soon, and we'll do a trip to see family members. And I have a little routine, and I share that routine with our customers that if they're going away, anything that's battery powered, get those batteries charged. If you've got spare batteries, they should be charged, ready to swap in on those Ring cameras, on any plug-in devices, anything that's battery tech, please charge them up. Also, if you've got scenes and schedules, just give them a quick once over that they're going to be doing an away schedule. So smart away is a feature we like to use with our Lutron systems, where your lights can be randomized in the evening for turning on and off to simulate occupancy. And then finally, things that are running on timers, it could be heating and cooling appliances. Do they need to be running while you're away? Probably not. review your schedules for your heating and hot water. Should that just go to an eco or a slumber mode, just so you've got no unnecessary or unused energy. You don't be shelling out for energy to heat an empty home or cool an empty home. Please just review that. Try and fine tune it down to like a 1 hour spin round the house, just making sure everything's good when you lock that front door.
Man, I love that. And everything that you just discussed, Gamble, can be done simply from a mobile device with a push of one or two buttons. And that's what a Home Tech Pro. I mean, if some of this is kind of spinny in your mind and you're going, oh my gosh, I got to do all this for vacation. I mean, honestly, these might be a lot of devices that you already have in your home. And it's a matter of just properly setting them up. And a Home Tech Pro can help you do something like that to where it is a very easy to manage. My favorite at our house is the vacation mode for the lighting and
Yeah.
popcorning that light on and off and just giving that sense of somebody's there and moving around the house. Is a great automated that's an automated feature, and also the schedule features are fantastic too. It's a cool tip, man.
Yeah. Well, there is one product that I will not be powering off, and that will be running smoothly in plugged in quite happily doing its task, and that is my Bitax, my solo miner for Bitcoin, my lucky miner that I have at home. I know you have one in your office as well,
I got a
JJ.
601, baby. You can't see it, but it's in the blur. It is buzzing away in the background back here. I love my Bitax 601, and it's hitting a block. I mean, those things not mine. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. And guys, we're going to put a little QR code down below. Our friends over at Solo Satoshi that are making these Bitcoin miners. They're just doing a fantastic job. Check them out at solosatoshi.com or click that QR code down below. But man, this little miner that I have back here is a bad boy. Let me see. I like the little app that it comes with, Gamble. Did yours come with an app?
I just use like a web browser. I can log in.
Okay.
Even when I'm away, I can log in. But yeah, it gives you a really clear dashboard of what it's up to,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
how it's performing. You can see the logs of the the shares that it's completing. And like I say, who knows? We call them the lucky miners. It's like a lottery ticket every 10 minutes. But
Yeah.
at the moment, if that hits a block, you're looking at a reward of 3.125 Bitcoin, which is you could buy a house for that nowadays. It's crazy to say that.
Hold on. Let me
But
just do the math because it's like at 87,000. That's $271,000.
yeah,
Yeah. And these little miners, like I got mine for like $180, Gamble.
yeah,
And so it's like buying a lotto ticket that has the opportunity to hit like every 10 minutes. And it's only the cost of whatever the electricity is in your house, which is like nothing. When they say miners, we're talking about like a little miner that's the size of your hand. We're not talking about a building. And what I
yeah.
love about it, we need to have Matt on. That would be cool to have Matt on and talk about them. All right, all right. Well, if you're into Bitcoin and you're looking at maybe just dabbling a little bit and interested in it, this is a perfect little device to add to your smart home. I think these little miners are going to be part of everybody's smart home here in the very near future, and it just gets you involved. It strengthens the network. It kind of gets you in the vocabulary of what's really happening, and you might have a chance to win a block.
Yeah, for me, when I got my solo miner, it really focused in my attention of exactly what is this doing? What's the benefits, that decentralization? We want the strength in the Bitcoin network to be around the decentralization. We don't want these giant mining pools. To me, that just sounds like another bank.
That's
So,
right. Yeah, you
so
got
let's,
the more these little miners that are out there, the more stable the network is. And when we talk about stabilization, that means decentralization and
yeah,
keeping it out of the hands of one central, you know, power. I hate, one central decision maker. And so by more decentralization, which you can do with these hashing miners, is really what it's about. It's about stabilizing the network and participating and being a part of. So yeah, super excited about that, man.
Yeah, and you'll hear us talk about these products more and more, and we'll have guests coming soon that will shed even more light on it. But our favorites at the moment are the range of products at solosatoshi.com.
Absolutely. All right, Gamble, you ready to get into our main topic of the day?
Let's go. Let's do the
Uh, uh, uh.
intergalactic.
All right, push the button, man. All right.
I thought
It's been a
something was
long
going to
time.
lower.
It's been a long time since we pushed the
I
button.
was waiting for
So
the smoke machine, the
lasers.
lights.
No.
You know, our main topic today is a topic that we're having conversations about a lot, and I've probably said the word conversations 20 times in this episode, but that's the basis of every episode we do. We're relating to the conversations we're having in people's homes, between your industry peers, the comments in the Facebook posts and Instagram posts, and what we're seeing out there on in the media, social media. And you cannot ignore the robots are going to enter the home soon. They have in a small way with some domestic tasks, but when you see articles, especially from the boffins over at Tesla, and they have their Optimus robot with a 2027 launch date, pre-ordering around about $30,000, it's getting real now. And
Yeah.
these things are going to come knocking at your front door soon.
Well, saying it like that, when you
Locking
put it
door.
like that, Gamble. Yeah. No, I think they're going to be a great assistance to our daily needs, whether they are, and I don't know if that's the form factor that we're going to see them all in. That's one thing that I'm interested is seeing all the different form factors. One of the easiest one for my mind to get around Gamble is like a yard service company and having these mobile robots that pop out the back of the trailers and maintain city facilities or university facilities, and then even neighborhoods with the ability of drones and GPS locations and able to map out areas. I think that it'll be, and then them being solar or battery powered, will all be part of that smart home, and it'll be part of probably more of like an HOA, just part of the smart neighborhood package.
Yeah, you can vividly picture it just having a few moments to yourself thinking a park, a golf course, a school grounds, all the lawn maintenance, the cleaning of pathways and all that kind of tasks. Once you create the machine that can operate that, you just need some supervision from one or two people, depending on the size of the task. But you imagine there being a human supervisor deploying a batch of robots to perform a task that's been plotted out using some kind of GPS, using a drone. You can also imagine it if you flip it into like agriculture and how they're going to do farming, and that could be indoor, outdoor farming. You're looking at it's the same field that they're going to be operating in every time. If that's accurately mapped, then you do not need to send in potentially human error. You've got a code that you upload, time of day, season, crop, all the things that the data is needed. Is there going to be a mistake? I think the mistakes will they'll be zero.
The mistakes will still be of human error for whatever that code might be that we implement into it, but for the most part it'll be maintenance, and we will be of maintaining these robotics. One thing that I find very interesting to a certain to a certain degree. And whenever we're talking about these types of maintenance robotics, whenever they have intelligence, artificial intelligence on board, as well as whatever they're designed to implement. And so we're talking about manicuring and yard work and things of that nature. And then if you provide them with a digital currency, it's its own ecosystem in itself. And it only needs to be maintained and repaired. Man, we are in for an interesting future.
Well, that's the concept of the kind of robo taxi model, that your vehicle can perform driving duties when you're not needing that vehicle. It could be once it's parked at your workplace, it's off to perform deliveries and transport people and cargo around a town or city. It could be doing that in the evening when you're sleeping. It's going off to get its maintenance, or it's going off to perform tasks that can earn rewards, whether that's for you or for the wider network of that particular car brand or vehicle brand.
Yeah, robots are definitely here. Not gonna not they are definitely here. But the task that these robotics are going to be able to perform are going to be great. I mean, I'm seriously trying to understand how am I going to implement these into our into our work environments. Like, is this going to be part of our workforce, whether inside my office or outside in the field?
Well, the big scare stories and legitimate reasons for the robots are going to be our police force. The robots will be our soldiers, our military. That is a real application for them, and I'm sure that's what people have in mind. How far away are we from that? Maybe our children will see that as a normality. You'd like to hope not, but wow, that when I think about the police force being robots, then you're into science fiction movies, and not all of them have been proved to be wrong. A lot of them tend to get things right, which is scary. But in it, for our business, you could have a machine that does your warehouse management, the loading and unloading of vehicles. I was with a client today, and they showed me footage on their cameras where they had to unload like a 350 kilogram delivery, some machinery for their office, and they had great difficulties doing it under human strength. But imagine if there was, a robot that could have 5 times human strength.
I could use that to help unload my Lutron shade order.
Yeah.
Come on, Bob. We got another Lutron shade order over here, buddy. 30 shades to unload.
There's applications for it. I think we're still yet to see in a domestic setting, we're yet to see a final lineup of what we're going to live with. I think if you had access to go into some of these future thinking businesses like these Amazon warehouses and car manufacturing plants, which have used robotics for 40 plus years. I want to say
Yeah.
it could be that long that they've used them. It's, a lot of it stemmed from, you saw the techniques used in Japan and their car manufacturing, then trickled over to Europe and the US, and now it's just expected that a car is assembled by robots. Can a house be built by robots? I think that's possible within 10 years. The mixture of that with 3D printing, are you going to get major accuracy? We share videos with each other about the people going around these multi-million pound homes, and they're disaster zones in terms of poor manufacturing, poor execution.
Terrible.
Could that disappear when you've got the 100% success rate of a code, a design, and a construction team that's supervised, that is robotic?
And completely laser eyed. I don't know. I still like the idea of pre-manufactured homes in a conditioned environment. I love that idea. But that'll all be robotics. I mean, it is already to,
It is.
most part. I think there's a place in Denmark I watched something about a complete factory that's turning over some amazing homes in a very robotic, automated way. And it's just impressive with these beautiful contemporary homes that they are doing.
Yeah, so again, this is a good one for people to comment. If you've got links you want to share with us, and if you're involved in those industries, or you're in a workplace with robotics, or you're a coder, those types of those people that are out there that are already touching the future, or feel that the future is already here, please leave that comment, leave those links, and if it stems more conversation after the show, we're more than happy to get involved with that.
Yeah. Man, we had a really good last week. Saw a lot of clients. I've been talking to a lot of friends on the phone, with their different situations. They got a lot of neat, cool projects going on.
Yeah, there's always variety. As much as we talk about, we're using the same products, they're going into very different houses and projects and use cases. I talked to JJ a lot about going to visit my friend who makes lightsabers. Cal and
That,
his family have a
that is
KR
cool.
Sabers, it's called. We went to his place today to install a new camera, which they wanted to do some monitoring. And then just through being there, we started to pick at a thread where he wanted some close-in viewing of some of the machinery they use. So we've conjured up a way of using a 4K wireless camera that he can position at different machines around the facility and monitor a specific task. And then the next day it's in a different room on another scenario. That camera can be left dormant for a period and then brought out when it's needed for a task. So the same tech can just be applied in very different projects.
It sounds like taco tech. It's like, how do you want it, sir? Yeah,
That's right. That's right. That's where your Home Tech Pro is a great problem solver, because they'll know a product that can scratch the itch. So please always consult with that Home Tech Pro if it's a kind of tech head scratcher.
yeah, no doubt. I mean, we have so many friends that have deployed so many good systems over the decades, that are out there waiting to take a call on some type of tech turmoil that you might be involved in, and they have the answer for you. So, take a look, Google around and find yourself a Home Tech Pro if you don't have one, but they're definitely out there. Gamble, I really enjoy getting on once a week with you and recording and talking about topics that are important to us, and things that we think that clients might and listeners might find of interest. And I really appreciate Solo Satoshi coming on board too.
Yeah, they're going to be a friend of the show long term for sure. We're fans of their message, their why. We're big believers in what they're doing, and we're excited to talk further. We've had offline conversations with them, the two of us, and they're innovators. They see the direction that they're moving in. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for more Bitcoin conversation, because it's something that behind the scenes, JJ and I are huge advocates and believers in that as a direction for people to move into.
Yeah, and it's a topic because when we talk to our clients in their environments, in their homes, they're all ears. A couple of years ago, whenever I was talking to clients about it and soliciting, BTC, they were very chuckly about it. Not so more. They're very intentful and want to understand more, and they want to be a part of that ecosystem. So, man, I can't wait to have more conversation about it. And if you are new to the Digital Ramble, please give us a like, give us a thumbs up, follow us, subscribe. You can find us on all the different podcast streaming services, Apple Music and Spotify, at our website, digitalrambleshow.com. We're on Facebook. We get a lot of traction there on Facebook. I mean, Facebook is a really go-to platform for us, and YouTube as well. And if you really want to stay connected on a really straight to the vein type connection with the Digital Ramble, subscribe or join our Telegram platform. And in Telegram, what we do is we're just always posting things that we find of interest to us on a daily basis. And so you can go in there and interact if you so choose so. But check us out on Telegram.
I just want to highlight as well, one other place to watch and listen, which is a growing place for people to consume podcasts, is Spotify. So if you go to Spotify, you've got the audio, and then when you look at the little thumbnail, it's the video. You can then flip your phone and watch the video and stay within Spotify for audio and video rather than just a podcast platform, and then jump over to YouTube if you want to watch the video. You can do it all from Spotify. So that's been a favorite for me with some of the emerging podcasts. So Spotify is a good shout. But yeah, thanks for joining us. We appreciate your views, your listens, and your comments, likes, and shares. So as we always end the show, if you don't know, ask a home tech pro.